Hey guys, what's going on? It's Roth and Joshua to talk a little Game of Thrones. Specifically, we want to talk about the scene that many people are talking about, which is Tyrion and Jaime talking in his cell right before the big battle. And he's talking about their cousin Orson, who was touched in the head, and he was desperate to understand why he would have this need to repeatedly smash the Beetles. And of course, in the Game of Thrones community, there's a going theory about what this scene was about. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who were the showrunners for the series, this is specifically created for the show. So what's the theory about it?
That Orson is George R.R. Martin, just killing all these characters right in front of us, and we need to know, is there a reason he's doing all this?
So the idea is that that Tyrion is the audience in that moment, the people, either the book readers or the viewers, trying to understand why is this man relentlessly killing off these characters, seemingly with no rhyme or reason. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I sort of have this theory that, some people have been arguing that, Game of Thrones is a lesson in nihilism, and in that nothing matters, all these people are just going to die, and that's one way to look at Orson's story of that metaphor of him just killing these people, and those Beetles don't really matter, just piles of them all over the place. But then there's this other thinking that no, this is a grand there's a grand beautiful structure to all of this, and all these deaths will mean something in the end, but we don't know because we haven't read the end of the books yet.
He hasn't written them, that's why we haven't read
them. Yeah, come on, sure.
Now they're going to be 8, we know. I think it's a really cool sort of moment in the show because it does become a meta moment in the way, if they are doing that as a nod, acknowledging how we as the audience sort of start to feel about these deaths. I don't think that they are meaningless. I think they are very structured. They're not designed just for shock. They do leave.
A lot of them are shocking. In this one, they're talking about smashing Beetles, and they literally squish that guy's head, the Red Viper's head.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, and it does become, as our producer pointed out earlier, it does become sort of the perfect illustration of his point about smashing the Beetles and the seemingly meaninglessness of it, where you think the hero is going to win, but actually the villain does and triumphs. So maybe there is no rhyme or reason or structure to it all. I think my sort of theory is that they are making a nod to the audience, but that in that moment, George R.R. Martin is Tyrion and he's Orson.
He's both?
He's both. What does that mean? That's bananas.
Go on, I'm intrigued.
I think he's both, because I think that as he's writing these books, he's trying to figure those very things out, or he's working out what it means to him. Does that make sense? He's Tyrion going why does the world work this way? Why do bad people seem to win or triumph and good people don't? Or death is pretty random, seemingly, and meaningless, and maybe there is no order to it all, but maybe there is.
Okay, do you think maybe he's purposefully making us feel this way? Why are you killing all these people?
I do. I think it's just him trying to write a story that feels more realistic to him.
Because people die.
People die. People are complicated. I don't think anyone's totally a hero. Very few people are totally heroic, and very few people are totally villainous. There are some, and there are some in the series that are. But most of the time, it's just people running around for just trying to figure it out and doing the best we can.
So deep. This is getting deep.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. But I do think that that's basically what is meant by this scene. I think it's a really cool scene in that we can dig into it in this way. And you have a great theory about how this whole show is what?
Well, this is sort of a happily ever after I think we're living in. Because Robert already sort of won Robert's Rebellion, and he was the king, and so that makes me wonder, let's say there was another happy ending where Tyrion was the king and he got everything he wanted, and Daenerys came with her dragons and everything, everyone's expecting. How long would that peace last? When they just all die, these horrible deaths of plots and schemes and stuff. So I don't know, we're all just Beetles getting smashed.
Getting our hearts smashed every single week, basically. I don't know, those are our thoughts on the scene. We think it's cool in that you can dig in and extrapolate a lot of things from it, or not. You can just sort of enjoy it for what it is. What did you guys take away from it, if anything? Do you think that Orson is George R.R. Martin and we're all just the Beetles getting our hearts smashed every week, or are we Tyrion? Let us know your thoughts below, and always keep it locked right here to IGN for all things Game of Thrones.